So there are a lot of videos on YouTube about the Xiaomi robot vacuum and how it compares to other vacuums on the market. There's a lot of cleanup videos, a lot of comparison videos, but there's not a lot of videos about the pros and cons and what people need to know about this vacuum that separates it from others, and just some of the nuances and things about it that I think people would like to know. So today I'm going to talk to you about some of those things. Let me just start in general by saying the vacuum itself is fantastic. I would buy it again 10 times over. I have no qualms about the vacuum. There's no issues with it whatsoever in terms of performance. The dock is fantastic. I mean, you know, it's got the cable that wraps around the back. You've seen it in reviews. No complaints about that. I'm just going to talk to you about some of the nuances. Let me just start with some information people want to know. Let's talk about suction. So it has 4 modes: max, turbo, balance, and quiet. Max suction will run about 100 minutes. Turbo suction will run you about 120 minutes. Balance suction will run you about 135 minutes. And quiet I haven't even run it fully on quiet for a whole cleaning. So quiet will likely run you 150 minutes, 2 hours, 2.5 to 3 hours actually. So somewhere in that range, but I haven't run it on that yet. Let's just talk about some of the other things with the vacuum itself. It works great on, we have laminate flooring, but hardwood flooring, laminate flooring. It also works great on carpet, but I'm going to show you some nuances here that cause it some issues. You can see by the door there, we have a little placemat by the front door. Has no problems with it. See this rug here? This is our dining room table and the rug around it. And I'm going to show you something. It has a problem climbing up onto this rug. It can get up there, but it wastes a lot of battery trying to fight its way up there. And I'm going to show you, and I brought this box out of my wife's phone just so you can see the difference of how high this rug is. So this is a quarter, and you can see the box sitting on top of the rug. The rug is fairly plush. If I put the quarter down in it, you can see how it sinks down in it. The box is actually higher than the quarter. So it struggles a little bit to climb up on a rug of this height. And I'll talk about a reason I think they could resolve that in a minute. But let me just show you another example. Let's carry the box. Let's carry the box in here. So this is another rug I have in the house. Let's bring it to the edge. I'm going to sit the quarter in front of it. You see the difference? I mean, the box is halfway of the quarter. Every once in a while, it kind of struggles with the little edge, but it climbs on this no problem. We have another rug in the house over here. So this rug here, if I put the box on it again, it's a little taller than the previous, but not as tall as the rug in the dining room. It has no problem climbing on that. So if we come back in here, I'll talk to you about some of the things that I've noticed and things that would probably help this vacuum from this type of rug standpoint. One of the problems with the vacuum is it doesn't have a wheel on the back. So it has a rotating wheel on the front that'll turn it left and right. And I'll show you this shortly. And it doesn't have a wheel on the back. If it had a little wheel on the back, when it hit a rug of this height, that wheel would catch the back. What happens is a rug of this thickness, when the robot hits this rug, it bottoms out. The back end of the vacuum bottoms out like this. So if we take this and we sit it, see the back, hear the back hit the floor? Hear that? It bottoms out. If it had a wheel somewhere in this vicinity on the back, it wouldn't bottom out. It would help roll, but it bottoming out doesn't help the vacuum in terms of climbing on a rug at its height. Now, we don't use our dining room a whole lot, so I've remedied this situation by not allowing it to go on top of this rug. And I did so with these. And what you're seeing here is the magnetic strip walls made by Xiaomi and made by Neato BotVac Connected. Now, what I did was I bought the ones for Xiaomi's vacuum straight from Geek Buying GearBest. And then I noticed that Neato sells them as well on Amazon for the BotVac Connected. So I bought both of them to see how they would work. They work exactly the same, and they even work under a rug of this thickness. So the vacuum sees this magnet using a sensor that's on the front. It's not a stair sensor. It's not one of the stair sensors. It's electronic compass under the front on the bottom. When it sees that magnet under the rug, it won't go over it. So you can kind of see, if you see this track right here, this is where the robot's wheel is when the front of that vacuum's just hitting that wall. So it rides along that same path every time, but it keeps it from going on top of that rug and getting stuck all the time. So I've done that all the way around this rug, so it will not go on this rug anymore. And that's made cleanup obviously significantly quicker. And let's talk about in terms of rugs in general. This vacuum, like many others, doesn't work well on dark rugs or black rugs because of the stair sensors. And I've made a suggestion to Xiaomi in their app that it would be nice if we could disable the stair sensors in the app so that if we wanted to run it on black rugs, we could. But I went ahead and took it a step further and disabled them myself with some Scotch tape and aluminum foil. Now I cut aluminum foil in the shape of the sensor, put some Scotch tape over it. This has been on there since I bought it. What this does is allows it to run over any rug. It doesn't matter if it's black, whatever. We don't have stairs down here. We have stairs that go up, but we don't have some that go down. So what that does is allows it to go over any rug color type. And if you notice on the back, you see all this rub marks. This is where the bottom is bottoming out on the floor. If there were a wheel right here that would keep it from bottoming out, it would do a much better job at climbing on thicker rugs. But I mean, you know, I don't know. I think it's just a cost reason is the reason they didn't put a wheel back there, or they just didn't know that would happen. Something else to talk about while we got this thing in front of us here. And again, when I'm talking about black rugs, I mean this kind of rug. It will struggle with that without their stair sensors covered. But with them covered, it has no problem getting to them. Let's talk about some other things in terms of the dock. The dock's fantastic, but a couple of nuances. One, if you carry this vacuum to another room and start it, as long as it goes past the dock on its cleaning pattern, it can go back and charge. However, it will not resume cleaning. The only way to charge and resume cleaning is to allow the vacuum to start from the dock. So if you start the cleaning from the dock, it'll go and clean, and when it gets to 19% battery, it'll come back and charge, and it'll resume cleaning when it's back to 80%. Now it only resumes cleaning one time. So if you have a giant house, it's not going to resume cleaning 2 or 3 times. It only resumes cleaning once. And in terms of 19%, to go back to the dock, I've also suggested to Xiaomi that they need to update their app so that we can change that percentage. I don't like 19%. I've noticed in my house, this vacuum can get back to the dock in about 2%. So if I were allowed to change that percentage from 19 to say 6%, just to be safe, I would get an extra 13% cleaning or an extra 15 minutes of clean time on a max run, which would be huge. I'm not sure it would finish my house on that, but it would be fairly close. I mean, that would be great if they would allow you to change that in the app. In terms of the bin's fantastic. The dust bin on the inside I'm talking about. I've seen the design and some people complain about it getting clogged or whatever. I haven't had it clogged. The only time I did notice it was when we put it under our bed, because our bed is kind of a sleigh design, so you can't really get the vacuum under the sides or the front and back. But we picked up the mattress and stuck the vacuum under the bed and let it run under there, and it did get slammed full doing that. But I guess I just ran it a few times under there, so it never told me that it was full and needed to be emptied. And I mean, it was slap full. Let's see, what else do we want to talk about in terms of this vacuum? The app's great. I hadn't really mentioned the app, but the app's fantastic. You used to have to select mainland China when you first installed it. just so it would see your vacuum, but I believe they've remedied that, and you can choose wherever you're located and it'll still see the vacuum. In terms of comparisons to other vacuums, there's plenty of videos on it, but my brother-in-law has a Roomba 980. This is way more efficient and just as strong. What I do like about this one too, on hardwood floors, its brush actually slows or speeds up depending on the floor type. What I noticed about his Roomba was it would throw stuff all over the place on a hardwood floor because the brush spun at one speed all the time. This one does not. The brush just speeds depending on floor type. I think that's pretty much it. I just wanted to cover some things I know people have questions about. In terms of dark rugs, that is a impact on all vacuums just about, except for I think Nito BotVac Connected. I think that thing will drive over everything. It's kind of like a Mack truck. But this is far more intelligent and is actually amazing to watch. The efficiency and how it doesn't miss a spot in the navigation. You know, being able to watch it in the app and see that stuff is amazing. I don't have any complaints about it. I would buy it over and over and over again. I just wish there was a couple of things fixed. A wheel on the back so it wouldn't bottom out. Be able to change the battery recharge percentage and be able to disable the stair sensors or something would be really nice. But I mean, those are all things they could change in a future one. But as for this, I would say buy it. If you're on the fence, buy it. There's not a better vacuum out there for this price range. Just wanted to provide you guys with some details of some stuff I didn't see in reviews when I was looking at this vacuum. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments and I'll do my best to answer them. Thanks, guys.